Right, but it was the relegation 6 pointer in which Manchester United lost. We now sit 15th place in the league. A very, very sloppy performance by the team. And a performance for me, which United should be embarrassed about, like genuinely is one of the worst performances. And yes, we have injuries, but some of the chances and some of the way that we played today was inexcusable. Tottenham are almost as bad as us. And listen, we lose 1-0, but it shouldn't be a game where Manchester United come out of it with a loss, in my opinion, at least a draw. We had so many chances to win that game. And you look at where that Tottenham goal comes from. It comes from a mistake from Onana, Maguire not really anticipating the ball. And that's ultimately how Maddison scores. I mean, Manchester United again were woeful, though. The gaps in midfield that was highlighted by Gary Neville on Sky Sports was absolutely correct. There was just so much space between Casemiro and Bruno in midfield. I think Amorim not bringing on the youngsters was a mistake as well. At least, surely Sekou Kone can't do any worse than what Casemiro was doing. But it was woeful. Listen, it could have been... I think United actually genuinely could have won that game. We had... I mean, that Garnacho big chance that we had. He had quite a few, to be fair. Casemiro had a chance. Like, there were opportunities to score. Xerxes had a few. Højlund had one. I think United did have chances. And I think Xerxes, for me, was the one player. Xerxes and Dorgu, to be honest with you, were the only two players who looked alright in that game. Everyone else was very, very poor by Manchester United. Dorgu, again, a young player. You see the players walking off the pitch. There's just no urgency. Or going to the fan, sorry. There's just no urgency. There's no quality. There's nothing going on for Manchester United at this moment. And it is really, really frustrating. A very, very sloppy performance by the team. I think Xerxes will be most frustrated because I think his performance today was very, very good. Tottenham didn't really have much chances and qualities, but other than that, Manchester United for me had a very, very good performance in terms of chances. But the overall lack of midfield runs, just midfield getting overrun. You can tell Casemiro is not Amorim's first choice. You can see it's a sloppy performance by Manchester United. Another Premier League defeat now away to Spurs, in which I don't think Spurs deserved to win the game. I think it had a draw for the result, but Spurs, listen, they get the win. As I said, it's a sloppy goal conceded, but I think some of the performances today, too sloppy on the ball, making silly mistakes. I mean, the amount of balls over the top that Bruno Fernandes played, I thought Xerxes again picking up in tight spaces, few nutmegs, few shots, few chances. He had that one header that just went wide. Like, there were big chances for Manchester United. I still don't think Højlund was good enough today, but listen, we move from here. We know we have amount of injuries and it's very tough now. I mean, we're 15th in the league, only 2 points behind West Ham, who are in 16th. So, listen, by the time next week, if we don't beat Everton, who are on great form at the minute, we could be in a relegation scrap. That's like, we do have points on Wolves, but again, it is a huge concern. Now, as I said, Bruno for me was very, very disappointing. Garnacho has to be better. He had 2-3 big chances. I mean, that first one, at a point where it's 0-0, like, you just got to score that. Again, second half, I thought we come out, we had a decent display. For the first 15 minutes of that second half, we actually went and gave something to Spurs and showed that we actually could score. But Spurs just sounded it out, and they had some chances as well to score. But overall, like, it's a Maddison goal, first goal for Maddison against Manchester United in his career. Like, you have to look at the performance of... It's just very, very sloppy, very poor. Just nothing going on for Manchester United. And I know Amorim doesn't want to bring on the young players, but at this point, why not? Whether that's Chidiobe, I mean, he came on for 3 minutes, but what's he going to do? I mean, I don't even know if he got a touch on the ball. But Sekou Kone couldn't have done any worse. Jack Morehouse, I think, was on the bench as well. Like, we're at a point now where we have to trust the young players who are on the bench because we don't have anything else. We don't have any other players to trust, and I think Amorim's going to have to learn that sooner than later who he can trust out of these young players, because listen, it's just a goal in which and Maguire just don't react. And listen, it's tight margins, but Tottenham will be happy with the win. I mean, we've got already 3 losses now against Tottenham this season. And listen, they weren't great by any stretch of the imagination, but it was so frustrating to see the way that Manchester United played. And I think Garnacho barely passed the dog. If he was making those overlapping runs, which we expect to see from him, was never really passing to him. I think Amorim made some wrong decisions today. I thought Delo offered nothing, but who else do you play out there in this situation? So realistically, yes, we can criticise the players, but these are the players that have to take us now from the end of the season. again, there were chances there, but the one thing, I don't want to see Casemiro in that midfield. Now, hopefully next week there will be some update, and we will have hopefully Ugarte and Collier back. I think missing Lenny Yoro as well and Ericsson was a huge miss for Manchester United. At least Ericsson, he might not have the legs, but at least he gives us something on the ball. As I said, I thought Xerxes was very sharp today. He offered something, which was better to see. But listen, it wasn't a very convincing performance by Manchester United, and I'm sure Amorim and the fans really will be very frustrated because, listen, Spurs, they were just bopping the ball around, one touch, two touch. Like, it wasn't anything special from them, to be honest. Relegation battles on in the current place that we're at, but yeah, very, very poor performance. A tight marginal win by Tottenham to beat Manchester United. It was literally a 6-point relegation scrap, but listen, we move from here. I'm hoping United can bounce back. Don't know what was happening in training. We're 15th in the league, rock bottom. The chances Garnacho had is unexcusable, the one that he should have put away. Yes, we have injuries, but again, we must do better. As I said, I thought Dorgu was good. I thought Dorgu and Xerxes were the only two players who actually did a decent job in that team. But 15th in the league. And yeah, genuine, the two positives from today, Dorgu and Xerxes. Xerxes was our best attacker for me, by far the man of the match. As I said, Dorgu was making some good runs, overlapping, giving us an option. He put a few good crosses in. I mean, we did put crosses into the box today. Bruno Mazwari put one in. I think the one that Xerxes should have scored. I think we created enough chances, but we just didn't lack that clinical edge, that final push. Casemiro had a nightmare. I don't think he can play again for Manchester United. He just simply hasn't got the legs to play in that position. Let's be honest. He just hasn't got the ability to run. And that's something that you need as a midfielder, especially when there's two of you in there. We're just getting bypassed. There was so much gaps in that midfield. Just way too static for the goal, just not alerting runs. I feel for Bruno. Listen, he was doing too much. He was doing a lot of running because Xerxes not going to... Amorim didn't feel like Xerxes could do that. But listen, as I said, options are slim. But as I said, he could have made subs sooner. Just put that. Listen, what's going to happen when the same thing happens, or in a similar situation against Everton, or we're not doing well, we need to bring on players? Amorim's going to have to trust these young players, and ultimately that's something that he has to do. Listen, it's road to 40 points. We have, I can't remember, like 13, 14 games left, something like that, or 12, 13 games. Road to 40 points, we need 11 points. Let's get over the line and just... Listen, the injuries are going to cook us. We know we have so many injuries, but today, listen, I don't think United ended up to deserve being on the losing side, to be honest with you. I don't think it was great at all by Manchester United, but I don't think we deserved to be on the losing side against it. Let's be honest, a relatively poor Tottenham side. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you are new. It was very frustrating. I thought Amorim should have gave more opportunities to the young players, but we move. Thanks for watching.